Margot, take it away.
I, Margot GK, the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:31 p.m. on Thursday, November 9th, 2023, and that this regular hybrid meeting is being held via webinar and in person. Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting were provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the Town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted in Town Hall and on the town website, and filed with the office of the Town Clerk of the Town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. Roll call. Councilman Armington.
Here.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Present.
Councilwoman Foster is excused. Councilman Iannicone.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
Councilman Umbriac.
Here.
And Council President Mayer.
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. May we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you. And can everybody raise for the Pledge of Flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, please be aware that public comment during the public hearing portions of this meeting will be held both in person and through the Zoom app. At the appropriate time, members of the public wishing to speak should indicate so by raising his or her hand in chambers or in the app. To comment via Zoom, click on the raise your hand icon at the bottom left side of your screen. You may also raise your hand by pressing *9 on your phone. When it is your turn, I will send a signal through the app and ask that you unmute yourself so that you may be heard. To unmute yourself on the phone, press *6. I have two announcements related to the agenda. First, Ordinance O-33-2023 is tabled to January 2nd, 2024. I also want to announce that under old business, the Maxon Morris Special Needs Housing is tabled to the December 12th meeting.
So why is 33 pulled?
Council?
Oh, yes, I can explain. 33.
33?
Leaf blower.
Oh, is that leaf blower? I'm sorry. Ordinance 33. Yes, as I've had conversations with Councilman Armington about that, the fact that the referendum has not yet been certified, initiative has not yet been certified, but appears to be in the affirmative for the ordinance, legally we cannot vote on that ordinance. Once the election results are certified, it will take effect on January 1st. So we cannot vote at this time on that. So legally, I recommend that we withdraw it.
Can I amend the ordinance?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
No, it cannot be amended or repealed for 3 years.
The ordinance O-33-23. Can I amend it to strike the item E, which is the seasonal restriction?
No.
That's what they voted on.
No, unfortunately, the voters have spoken. We believe the voters have spoken at this point. It appears that they voted in the affirmative, and therefore that ordinance cannot be amended. My recommendation is that we allow the election results to be certified, and that will be the law of Morristown. Thank you. For 3 years, correct.
How long does it take for the elections to be certified?
A couple of weeks, generally.
Usually 2
Yeah,
weeks.
something like that.
So will we
yeah.
be able to handle this? Is there any?
You can't, because you need an introduction and a adoption. So we'll see if the next council that takes it up.
I think it automatically goes into.
Well, the referendum is gone up.
Right.
What the purpose of the ordinance was to define what a gas-powered leaf blower was, since it's not defined in the ordinance. Also to clarify the penalties for the violation of the ordinance, because currently it's up to $1,000 for every offense, whether it's the first offense or the third offense. And it's not clear if it applies to the contractor or to the resident. So anyway,
Certainly, well, that can.
I'll leave it to the next council.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so just so I'm clear, we can introduce it at the January 2nd regular meeting.
If there's someone to introduce it.
But Stefan, for next year, what are the
So
issues that
Margot,
need to be
you need a
considered?
new council president to put it on, just, it's for next year.
Okay.
It's the penalties?
The issues are the penalties, if whether or not it applies to, if there are penalties, well, so there would be penalties if the penalties apply to the contractor, where there's a contractor, does it apply to the homeowner? And, and using the example of the trash bag ordinance, plastic trash bag ordinance, there wasn't sufficient public education, and then 500 people got tickets, and then we had to pull it back, and then the fine was $300 for the first offense, which people thought was excessive since it wasn't much. So the intent of the ordinance was to make the penalties clear.
Councilman Anacone, just if I could, I just want to reiterate, we cannot touch this ordinance in any way for
yeah.
3 years. We cannot. I just want to make sure everyone understands that.
Yeah. And essentially, and I clarified that with the clerk that the ordinance is the ordinance.
Correct.
The seasonal ban is the ordinance. What this would do essentially is define what a gas-powered leaf blower is, which I believe is allowed, and it would also assign penalties, which is part of the implementation. Since the ordinance doesn't define what any of the penalties, it defers to the standard backdrop of whatever is essentially whether or not the prosecutor wants to implement it or not. So,
Thank you.
Margo, go ahead with the consent agenda.
Okay, there are 4 items on the consent agenda. Are there any that members of council would like to pull for separate consideration?
I have a question on 3 before we pull it. We could probably just ask the question. Actually, it's back to David also. David, we're doing this by resolution. At the last meeting, we discussed an ordinance we would ultimately, to make this permanent, we would have to make it an ordinance.
Which one? I'm sorry.
This is on the
Partnership.
The partnership.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We're not doing anything that sets a precedent of doing something usually required by ordinance via resolution, are we?
No, that's fine. We don't currently have an ordinance that
I'm supportive of this. I
Yes.
just want to make sure we're not going
I would say because
different
it's
process that
yeah.
could come back later on.
No. This is limited in scope and limited
It
in
is.
time.
Okay.
I feel comfortable you can proceed with this. If you want to have an overarching policy, that would
be the ordinance.
Yeah, that would be the ordinance. And also,
About the last meeting.
if you had an ordinance, then I would say
Right.
this process would not be
We're
acceptable.
not creating any new precedent.
No,
right?
not at all. You
Very
can move
good.
forward. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion for consent agenda items 1 through 4.
I will make a motion for consent agenda items 1 through 4.
And I will second.
Okay, on the adoption, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriak.
Yes.
Council President Mayer.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, I'll open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. For remote members of the public, please raise your hand in the Zoom app to indicate that you would like to speak. If you've joined the meeting via telephone, press star 9. Kindly state your name and address and limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. Be advised that any derogatory comments targeting members of council and/or administration may be ruled out of order.
Ms. Waring.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Waring. I'm the Executive Director of the Morristown Partnership. On behalf of our board, we would like to take this opportunity to clarify remarks presented by Council President Mayer at the October 24th meeting when referencing specific properties as contributors to the SID assessment. Specifically mentioned were Modera properties, 11 to 13 to Hart Street, a reference to a utility easement, the Metropolitan, and portions of the hospital. It's crucial to clarify that these properties are not currently part of the Special Improvement District. They do not pay the special assessment. The SID consists of specific blocks and lots and is defined by municipal ordinance. And I'd like to thank you very much for passing the facilities approval request for our sidewalk sales. We look forward to sharing it with our retail subcommittee and finalizing their applications. And Finally, the Morristown Partnership will start our month-long gift certificate giveaway on Monday to shop local. So follow us on social media. Each day we'll be giving away $100 in Morristown Partnership gift certificates when you shop local in Morristown and post and tag the businesses. So for the next month, shop local, shop early, and shop local every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Sure. Come on, Mr. Ronschlager.
Hello, my name is Bill Braunschweiger from 33 South Street in Morristown, and I'm here just to represent the Morristown Partnership and just give you a little headache. And first of all, I'd like to thank all of you guys for volunteering your time to make this town better, because we on the Morristown Partnership Board do the same thing. We volunteer our time, and our goal is to make this town a better town. So I want just to clarify some things that people may not understand what the SID does and the SID assessment. So the SID assessment and the properties that are on that list that are assessed were determined in 1995. And since that time, there's been a lot of development in Morristown, and the lot and block numbers have changed. So there are dozens of properties that exist in town that should be paying the assessment that don't. The most glaring example of that would be the 40 Park Building. So the 40 Park Building's been up for 15 years, and they have not paid a dime to the Morristown Partnership as part of that assessment because their properties are not on the lock and block numbers. Meanwhile, any other people who own property like myself have been paying it. So it seems to be really unfair. So we've been trying to, get this done for a long time. I want to let people know that the people who sit on the partnership board are business owners and property owners in the SID. They are elected by the business owners and the property owners. That's the only way you do it. So we went on, I guess, the last council meeting, a lot of this was discussed for the SID, and it seemed like at the end of that meeting that we were tabled and it was going to be next year. And then we did notice that we were on the agenda again today. So the reason for being here today, myself and there are two other board members here, if the council has any questions about what the relevance of the SID is or anything that you want to discuss from us, we are here in the room to answer any questions you have. And we look for communication from the town council. We have struggled with that because everybody's busy, that we don't have a lot of communication with the council, and sometimes we just wish that people would come and ask us. Everybody who's a business or property owner who is on that board is open to suggestions and willing to help. So we are here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and thank you all again for being here.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Ronschlager. Jen? Come on up. Nope, pointing right at you.
Good evening. My name's Don Engels. I'm with the Hampshire Companies. We're at 21 South Street. Understand the discussion regarding our certificate of completion for the Maxon Morris building is carried to next meeting. But since I was here, I just reiterate that we're happy to answer any questions. If there's any remaining questions regarding the conditions of the completion or anything about the building at all, let us know. But we're anxious to bring the matter to resolution. The building's been open since February, and I think we've submitted everything some months ago. So anything we can do to help move the process along, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there anybody on Zoom, Julie? Thank you. I will close public comments now. Council response.
I'll take the Maxon Morris. I was actually the one that is tabling that, asking that be tabled. At the time, in the developers agreement, it is outlined for the adult special need housing. That was a major condition as a benefit, which actually led to the creation of the pilot. And quite frankly, I'm very, very concerned to have an update on the adult special need housing, how it's operating, how it's being overseen. What we had requested at the last meeting is for your organization plus the operator of the special need housing. We're inviting you to come to council explain the operation, explain what's going on. It's a beautiful building. And I have to tell you, I was very impressed. It was one of the few buildings where the illustrations of the building presented to the planning board actually matched the building. You know, you guys did a great job. But the special need housing, we promised the community that we would keep a very close eye on it. There was a lot of discussion concerning licensed operator versus unlicensed operator, and a lot of those issues I'd like to see resolved before we move on with signing off on the building.
Okay,
Thank you.
appreciate that. I'm happy to answer questions now.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
no,
Council President, there's no back and forth.
interaction with the,
And
no
actually,
interaction.
but your point, when you come back, please bring the operator of the operation with you.
Thank you, Bob. The partnership will be discussed at the end of the meeting, so hopefully everybody could stick around since it's under old business. And we're going to move on to Mayor's proclamations and presentations.
Okay. Do you like this? Or?
That's a given.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Sure. My name is Todd Cohen. I'm a resident of Morristown and a volunteer for the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. I lost my dad to pancreatic cancer 21 years ago, and I've been fighting for a cure for this disease. Thank you.
It's my honor and pleasure and to privilege to present you with this proclamation and read it into the record. I know how much you care and how much you're dedicated to this cause as we see each other on the street.
Yeah.
And we look forward, I don't look forward to this, but I understand the need of this. And what we're about to read into the record is very serious stuff when it comes to dealing with pancreatic cancer. So in 2023, an estimated 64,050 people will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in the United States. 50,550 will die from the disease. Pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest cancers, is currently the third leading cause of cancer death in the United States. It is projected to become the second leading cause within the next 5 years. Pancreatic cancer has the lowest survival rate amongst all major cancers, with a 5-year relative survival rate at just 12% and accounts for about 7% of all cancer deaths. When symptoms of pancreatic cancer present themselves, it is generally in later stages. Only 10% of pancreatic cancer patients are diagnosed when the disease is confined to their pancreas. 89% of pancreatic cancer patients die within the first 5 years. Approximately 1,410 deaths will occur in New Jersey in 2023. Pancreatic cancer is the 7th most common cause of cancer-related deaths across the world. There will be more than an estimated 500 million new pancreatic cancer cases diagnosed worldwide by 2025, a yearly increase of 3%. The good health and well-being of the residents of Morristown are enhanced as a direct result of increased awareness about the symptoms and risks of pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments. Now, therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the Town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim November 16, 2023 as World Pancreatic Cancer Day in the Town of Morristown. Thank you so much for what you do.
I want to thank the council. I want to thank the mayor for doing this every year. Like I said, my father died of pancreatic cancer 21 years ago. Not much has changed about this disease. This is almost like a carbon copy thing. Year after year, I say the same thing. We're making very small progress, but we need more awareness for this disease. I'm a volunteer from the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. If you know someone that has pancreatic cancer, there was a police officer in town that I connected with that was the the survivor speaker for our walk. We have a walk every year. It's called Purple Stride. So the website for our organization is pancan.org. I encourage you to check out the clinical trials that are on there, the information. Everything is free, and it's provided for mainly by the volunteer effort. Purple Stride is our event that we hold in Parsippany every April. It's April 27th, 2024 this year. You can go to purplestride.org/NJ if you'd like to learn more about the event. We raised over $500,000 the last couple years, and we're not done. We need more people. We need more money. This Thursday, we're encouraging people to wear Thursday the 16th, wear purple. You'll see purple on the newscasts. You'll see purple on social media. So, if you are wearing purple, please feel free to share it to raise awareness for this disease. Like the mayor said, the survival rate is 12%. It's unacceptable. We need to find early detection methods. We need to find a cure for this disease. My father's death, I don't want it to be something that was just lost. I want something good to come out of this. There's that old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to do. So I thank you once again. I thank Kristen for setting this up, and everybody for allowing me to have this time to share the information about pancreatic cancer. Once again, pancan.org. It could be a life-saving treatment for some loved ones, family, friends, anybody who's out there. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah. So let me just start before I run down the whole list. Let me just put out some congratulations. Stefan, congratulations on your initiative on your referendum. And your many years of dealing with noise with leaf blowers, and that's the democratic, as you put it, that's the democratic process. So my congratulations to you and your effort. I also want to congratulate Bob Iannacone on his victory for his reelection. I also want to congratulate Steve Pilipchak, Tina Lindsay, and Chris Russo for their election wins on Tuesday, and look forward to working with all of you come the new year. So now I'll go into the recent events. October 26th, we had the grand opening of Primo Hoagies on 44 Speedwell Avenue. If you haven't had a chance to go to Primo Hoagies, where's Chris? Pretty good, huh? Amazing. They're pretty good hoagie place, brand new, and it's really well-run place right next to Valley Bank, and it's pretty good food. Tuesday, October 31st, Halloween treats. Town Hall had the scary celebration, and the Morristown Partnership did the downtown trick-or-treat. Well attended again. The Recreation Department, our leadership at our rec department, with all the people that helped with that. They did a great job in the front of Town Hall. Got a lot of email blasts, got a lot of comments on the kids really liked the way we had it set up. So hats off to Recreation, and hats off to the police department. Every corner had a cop on it, and it was just a really good event for the downtown. Saturday, November 4th, the Market Street Mission annual Coke giveaway. Now, if you haven't experienced the annual Coke giveaway, I can tell you that the line was all the way around the green. They come in from New York, they come in from Pennsylvania, they come in from other states to get coats. The Market Street Mission does an amazing job, and all the people that volunteer to give their coats, buy coats and donate coats, I'll tell you, if you get a chance, experience that coat giveaway, because people buy and give away amazing coats, and these are people in need with children, families. They come from all over. So my hat's off to the Market Street Mission and their annual coat giveaway. It was an outstanding turnout, as they are every year, and I want to personally thank them for what they do for our community and for a lot of other communities. November 7th, Town Hall obviously was closed for Election Day. Mark your calendars. Friday the 10th, Town Hall is closed again for Veterans Day. Saturday, November 11th, 10 a.m. at the Morris Township Municipal Building for Veterans Day services, and 11 a.m. Veteran Day services at the Morristown Green. That's Saturday the 11th, this Saturday. The 12th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. This Sunday, MPAC Arts in the Community Annual Theater of Light at Vail Mansion. More information can be found at mayoarts.org. That's Sunday, 5 to 8. That's the Festival of Theater of Lights. On Friday, November 17th, 11 a.m., the Table of Hope annual Thanksgiving food distribution event at the County College of Morris. It's 214 Center Grove Road, Randolph, parking lot 1. Pre-register at the event at www.springstreetcdc.org. That's www.springstreetcdc.org. Pre-register for your Thanksgiving food distribution. Thursday, the 23rd, and Friday, the 24th of November, the town hall will be closed in observance of Thanksgiving holiday. On November 25th, the Morristown Partnership will host, and where's Jen? Surprised you didn't mention this. So I'll mention it for you. Guess who's coming to town? 26th. Santa. Yeah, so mark your calendar, Santa's coming the 26th. And that will be arriving at the Morristown, the lighting of the Morristown Green and all those different things that happen up there. It's a great event.
There's a child in the room listening.
Excuse me?
There's a child in the room listening to Santa be. Sorry.
She's waiting.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's all good. December 7th, it's on the agenda, I got to speak it. 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on December 7th, we have the Hanukkah celebration at Pioneers Plaza via Shabbat of Morristown. That's December 7th. Mark your calendars for December 7th. So that's it, Council President.
Thank you. Moving on to council liaison reports. Does anybody have a report?
I have a report.
Sure.
So I met for the last time this calendar year with the Morristown Partnership. It was an honor and a privilege to meet with the partnership. They welcomed me with, it was a very warm welcome, some great individuals on that board, a great staff. So it was the last meeting, Wednesday, November 8th for calendar year 2023. The 2024 event calendar brochures have been published with some exciting events upcoming in next calendar year, including Morristown Restaurant Week, which will be held from Monday, April 15th to Friday, April 19th, and the Morristown Festival on the Green, Sunday, September 29th. So already looking forward, they're already on my calendar. Some recent leasing updates and movement in retail. There's been a lot of movement on Speedwell Avenue. The mayor already mentioned Primo Hoagie, but there's a lot of great things going on Speedwell. Yoga on Pine, another yoga studio coming to Pine Street. Surreal Creamery on Washington Street. Let's Noodle on Washington Street. And then something I'm excited about, the Rumble Boxing Gym on Wilmont Street. So lots of great new businesses coming into town. I did want to highlight, we did have a guest speaker at the partnership meeting. His name is Glenn Byer. He's a retail real estate broker at Newmark. He has 26 years of retail real estate experience and had nothing but positive things to say about Morristown. So I just want to share some of the things that he had to say. So he spoke about the positive evolution of Morristown's retail landscape, focusing on the importance of population density and the increasing presence of daytime employees from major corporations such as Deloitte, Valley National Bank, and Sanofi, which is coming soon. This addition of close to 500,000 square feet of Class A office space is unheard of and exceptional in New Jersey. Studies with SJP and Scotto Properties estimate close to 3,000 new employees walking through our streets, shopping in our stores, and eating in our restaurants. Over 200 people per day, I thought this was interesting, over 200 people per day are actually taking the train into Morristown and coming to see Deloitte's training facility, which is excellent. Parking is always an issue. People always talk about parking in Morristown, but in terms of parking, Glenn shared that Morristown is viewed positively, distinguishing it from other towns facing parking challenges such as Summit. People go to Summit, they can't find a parking lot or a parking space, they leave. Retailers currently expressing interest in Morristown include quick serve and ethnic-based restaurants and medical services, all driven by the increasing daytime population. Glenn closed by stressing the importance of understanding retailers' specific needs and creating a welcoming environment, which has been fostered by the partnership for decades. The partnership will next meet for the reorg meeting in January of next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President, I did forget one thing. He brought it up. There is a ribbon cutting on Pine Street Saturday at 2 o'clock. It's not on my sheet here.
Friend of mine's.
but it is on my calendar upstairs at 2 p.m. on Pine Street. I'm not sure what the number is.
Yoga. Yeah, the yoga on Pine Street.
next to Dublin Pub. Yeah, it's right over there.
Yeah, so if you're around, you'll see us there. So come on by Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. I know there's not a shade tree report, but I'm just going to make this announcement. I don't know if everybody knows, but we have a goose problem sometimes in Morristown. So we have a team of people, and I just want to say thank you. Under the direction of Julie Kahn of Animal Control, the following volunteers, they really put themselves on the line with this one. Linda Carrington, we checked with all these people, so they approved me announcing this. Linda Carrington, Susan Landau, John Landau, Greg Lombardi, John Codd, Jody Duran, Eli Francis, Paula Zimin, Nancy Carafaro, and Doug Voroloff. They go out and do goose remediation by removing goose eggs and putting in wooden goose eggs, and it's a little it's messy and it's a little bit dirty, and they do yeoman's job because it's really controlling the goose population. And I just want to say thank you because nobody ever says thank you to them. And if anybody has broken golf umbrellas, they need them for donations because that's what they use to keep the goose away. But they never get thanked, so I just wanted to say thank you to them. And we are moving on to regular business.
Excuse me. Okay, we have one ordinance for introduction this evening. That's ordinance number O-32-2023, an ordinance amending and supplementing the code of the town of Morristown, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 40.2, handicap parking on streets for private residences, to add a dedicated handicap parking space for a resident of 189 Speedwell Avenue.
I make a motion to introduce ordinance O-32-2023.
I'll second.
Are there any comments or questions from council? Okay, on the introduction of ordinance O-32-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriac.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance 32-2023 has been introduced properly by title and will be considered further after a public hearing on December 12th. There's one ordinance for public hearing and adoption, ordinance number O-31-2023, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 4 Licensing and Business Regulations, Section 26 Taxi Cabs.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance O-31-2023.
I'll second.
At this time, I'll open the floor for public comment on ordinance O-31-2023 only. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from council? On the adoption of ordinance O-31-2023, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriac.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Ordinance 31 is adopted. There are 15 resolutions for adoption. Do members of council want to pull any for separate consideration? With that,
No, I talked about the
Okay.
Jillian.
I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-152-2023 through R-166-2023.
I will make a motion to adopt resolutions R-152-2023 through 167-2023.
I'll second.
Okay, on that motion, Councilman Armington.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilman Umbriac.
Yes.
Council President Mayor.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolutions are adopted.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the best practices score.
Thank you. I
Okay,
saw
that's a 35 out of a
at
36. I think that's an A.
A plus, A plus. Put that on the fridge.
Okay, moving on to old business. We're going to discuss the SID, everybody. So I'm just going to make a quick statement, then Stefan. So the goal of the SID subcommittee, just so everybody understands, and then Stefan will give more detail, it was to find an equitable solution for assessing all business property owners in the designated SID and determining the benefits derived from the assessed amount and partnership programs, to determine if the SID needs to be withdrawn, scaled to the town core, and the included locations be revised, to determine if the classes of properties need to be adjusted to only retail locations to remove residential and professional services, to determine if the rate should be revised based on the updated valuations and the updated Schedule A list of included properties, and to determine if the prorated assessments are equitable and who determines what the rate is and how it is applied. So Stefan has way more detail on all of those things. We just wanted to give that as an overview.
All right, so the council created a special improvement district review committee last November. Primarily started with discussions with the partnership about these additional properties that, development properties that haven't been included. But, you know, the purpose, again, was to find some equitable solution. We started by reviewing Schedule A, which includes all of the businesses in the SID, and we determined that none of the redevelopment properties over the last 25 years are technically part of the SID or pay the special assessment, but they receive the same benefits as those properties on South Street and Morris Street that do pay this into the SID. In reviewing Schedule A, meeting with the partnership in February and again in June, and discussing through discussions with numerous businesses across town, we agree on the one hand that the primary programming provided by the partnership in the form of numerous festivals and the farmers market contribute to the general well-being of all residents and businesses in town. It also seems clear that the majority of the other programming, including the gift certificate program and the restaurant week, primarily serve the retail and restaurant businesses along the South Street and Morris Street business districts. Unfortunately, it also seems clear to the committee that a large proportion of the businesses on Speedwell Avenue, Spring Street, Martin Luther King Avenue, Madison Avenue, and the professional offices on Maple Avenue and Washington Street received no tangible benefits from paying the annual SID assessment. The partnership sent the committee an ordinance that would increase the number of properties in the SID to include all the new properties and redevelopment properties since 1994. They expressed that the additional properties would effectively increase the partnership's budget by 70%, from $600,000 to $1 million. The committee asked where these additional funds would be spent, and the board said they needed to pay off debt, make things whole, and add more programming, though they had no specific ideas to share. That said, the committee strongly agrees that the additional properties should be added to the Schedule A. The partnership has said they do periodic surveys of the membership, but rarely receive responses back from a majority of the members. The committee suggested to the administration and to the board that a survey of all the businesses in the SID was needed to evaluate how satisfied businesses are with their mandatory inclusion in the SID. Unfortunately, neither the partnership nor the town has been able to perform such a survey. After a year of review, the committee believes that requiring businesses outside of South Street and Morris Street town center zoning districts to participate and pay the annual assessment, receiving no tangible benefit, is unfair and does not support the committee's understanding of the purpose of the Special Improvement District. The committee has considered revising the Special Improvement District, enabling legislation to limit the district to just include the South Street and Morris Street business districts, which is the focus of the programming and the relative benefits. The problem we have moving forward with any of these concepts is that we need input from the businesses that currently are included in the SID. The committee believes that a door-to-door survey with close to 100% responses is needed so the council and the partnership can make informed decisions. While we agree that the additional properties need to be added to the district, we are concerned that if the council adopts the ordinance recommended by the partnership, that nothing will change except there will be greater benefits to the retail businesses on South Street and Morris Street at the expense of the rest of the town. We recommend that the next year's council continue studying this issue and hopefully come to some equitable resolution.
Bob?
We will follow up, Stefan. In fact, Nathan and I were talking after the last meeting, and probably the timing of it, I think, is probably after the assessments are all completed, because I think the commercial assessments are still outstanding. Residential assessments have gone out, but I don't think the commercial assessments have gone out yet. We've been talking a little bit with Jen about it, and, you know, I think we need to sit down with the lawyers, for example. One of the discussion points that, you know, I know David and Bob Goldsmith want to discuss is, do residential properties, should they be subject to the SID? or the portions of the buildings that are used for residential. Because right now, if it is an apartment, if it's owned by a landlord, it's considered commercial property, unlike a condo, which is a separate lot and block, it's a residential property. But the rental properties are being taxed as the SID. And so that discussion should happen with reference to fairness. On the issue Nathan and I were talking about this, on the issue of including all the businesses in town, you know, there's a lot of sides to that. And I think that you will get the public involved once they kind of see that they're going to be assessed and they're going to be included, because now all of a sudden they're going to see it's a small amount, but they're going to start seeing, not always a small amount, but they're going to start seeing an additional charge on their tax bill. Okay? But I think the fair thing to do, what we were talking about, is we got to just make sure they get notice and they have an opportunity to come here and speak out. Right now, you don't see people coming because there's no money on the table yet. You know, once you have the money on then you're going to see
I also don't think there's going to be any results if they come and speak out.
Well,
They feel like it's a tax and that's it.
Well, it has a process, and we're going to follow the process. But we'll see then. I think once people see, okay, this is what we're going to pay, and I think it's good. And it's the point you're making about getting other business sectors in town. We're talking in the ordinance about the funding, okay, and we're going to address the funding in the ordinance. I think we can do that on a timeline consistent with the assessments and in meeting with the lawyers to see what we do with residential properties, and then having that public meeting and getting the input from the new properties that are going to be included in the SID. But I think at the same time, the parallel is what is the partnership going to be doing with these funds, us understanding better what the partnership is doing to reach out to the businesses on the east side of Morris Avenue, on Speedwell Avenue, on Ridgedale Avenue, on some of the lesser known. What do the office buildings get by being included in the SID? Because you got a lot of office buildings, healthcare offices, what have you. At the same time, they're going to be doing that. We all know that the budget, which we approve every year, is what sets the rate. Okay? So we got to pay more attention to that budget. Okay? And we will.
Sure you will. I leave it in your hands, and Nathan, and I appreciate all your help on that.
No,
I just want to be clear. One of the recommendations is to exclude certain portions like Martin Luther King and Speedwell from the SID because they're not receiving the benefit of the program.
It was based on our discussions with a number of businesses on Speedwell Avenue and Martin Luther King, from businesses that didn't feel that they received anything from the partnership. So the question put out, and should they? Is it fair for them to have to be part of the SID and be paying assessment if a number of businesses, and I don't know if it's a majority of businesses or not, feel they don't get anything from it? Is it an unfair tax?
What I was trying to say, Pastor, is we'll hear from them. Once they hear that they're going to be included, or they understand that they already are included and they're paying it. Some people may not realize that they're paying this tax.
Correct.
They may not
Yes,
realize it.
yes.
We'll give them an opportunity to be heard at that time.
Well,
Let me finish my thought, please.
one of
I think it's also important what you're saying is that I did talk to some of the property owners on Morris Avenue because I was out walking the last couple of weekends for an obvious reason, and I was stopping at some of the stores. They want to be part of it. What they want to see is a more active partnership. So, for example, do you do events down on the end of MLK in their business district? Do you do events celebrating Hispanic heritage along Speedwell Avenue, like a festival? Doing some different things, trying to diversify the mix and getting other areas involved with the activities. And, that's part of the reasons why they need more money.
Yes, and I think that for my talk to businesses on Speedwell Avenue on MLK, they will want the benefits, they will want programs that will reach them and help them in their businesses, because some of them that I have talked to feel excluded. Like, you're there and we're here, and here we're not receiving any benefit. So I think that will be important, and I think I mentioned that to you the other day. So,
And I think we're on the same page. It's an acknowledgement that it appears that, and I think that, the council has never, in my understanding, never evaluated the SIDS underline what they serve to everyone in all the businesses individually, and so if they know that there are a number of businesses, Speedwell Avenue, business districts that feel left out, well then they ideally they will do the right thing and make an extra effort to serve those businesses, since they are actually taxing them or assessing, whatever we want to call it. So,
in talking to some of the businesses also, who's really challenged is the small sole proprietorship. It's that person who's in Morristown trying to maintain an independent store in Morristown. When you expand the geographic area, i.e. MLK and Speedwell Avenue, you're going to get more of that type of retailer, I think. And so having the resources to support the sole proprietorship businesses, to keep the diversification of businesses or try to increase the diversification of businesses in downtown Morristown might prove very beneficial. So, let's listen to the partnership when we bring this up next time.
And are you putting out notices to the people who are going to be assessed before they are assessed?
I think they need to be, and I think they need the opportunity to come, and that's what Nathan and I were talking about. They need that opportunity to come here and be heard.
And what about, how are you including like a gas station or a doctor's office or a lawyer in this? Because what are they getting?
Well, why don't we find out? Right now, they're subject to the SID, and right now, if they're in those office buildings, they're paying. And if they have an objection to it, let them come and talk to us.
And what's your suggestion if they have an objection? They're not being cut out of it unless you change the classes on the ordinance.
I say you wait and have that discussion, wait and hear what they have to say. Because is it a SID includes all the businesses? And are they a business in town? They're clearly a business in town. My concern, quite frankly, is the rentals. Okay, because just take the example of a rent control apartment on South Street. Okay, that rent control apartment, that's a pass-through to the tenant, defeating somewhat the purpose of rent control and affordable housing. So I'd like to see us pull the residential piece. That's my preference. My priority is to pull the residential piece out of the SID, okay, because it just gets passed along to the tenant in rent, okay? And they're not a business, and it's nice living in the downtown. It's nice living in downtown with all those activities, but at the same time, I benefit, and I live across 287 from all those activities, and I'm not paying into the SID.
You'd get prorated too.
So, but I have all the benefits of all the events and everything, so.
It's true.
I think the challenge is, and I understand, in 1994 when the original SID was established, and a group of businesses sued the town or sued this partnership or whatever, because there was an attempt to exclude the residential, and there was a court case, and they determined that you couldn't exclude it. Basically, one business is a business. A gas station is a business, and a retail is a business, and a rental property is a business. So, but of course, I'm sure there'll be lots of legal discussions next year. But I appreciated being part of the committee, and I leave it to your good hands.
Well, if nothing else, it's thankfully that we brought this up for a discussion, and it was brought to our attention that, the 28 years has passed since we updated Schedule A. Hopefully not another 28 years passes before we update it. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn this meeting. All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Good night, everybody.
One more.